Masinya Attorneys Incorporated, a boutique commercial and taxation law firm in Midrand, Johannesburg, South Africa. Strategic lawyers on point with more than 20 years of practice experience. We are professional, capable, and qualified.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me in this new week right here in Solomon's Temple. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead of you and you enjoyed your weekend. Thank you for always being here to check us out. And I do hope that you and I, everyone watching, all the Bereans watching, we would get some sort of encouragement as we walk with the Lord, as we desire righteousness and follow the path of holiness. There's no point actually really being a Christian whilst we were, living in sin. We can never be comfortable with sin. It's just not a good thing. We cannot be comfortable with sin. That's not what God called us for. So I pray that the grace of God will continue to empower you to overcome. Let us know where you're watching from, and also in the comment section, that is, and also make sure that you just get engaged in the topic that we're going to be looking at today. If you're here for the first time, thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. And even for those who have not subscribed yet, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you, Bongani. You are here. Shout out to all the Bereans. Godwin, thank you. Awesome to have you here. Promise from Gauteng here in South Africa. Janessa, great to have you here. Appreciate my brother Emmanuel. It's been a while from Australia. Sometimes I do this broadcast around this time just so I can, catch up with the other guys in different time zones. Okay, Godwin, you're watching from Switzerland. Is that you speak German or you speak French? Which part of Switzerland are you? Anyway, thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. I want us to look at the issue of Pastor Sunday Adelaja. Some people call him Dr. Sunday Adelaja. That is DSA. Losing about $4 million in Ukraine. Now, we all know Pastor Sunday Adelaja. Nigerian national, left Nigeria when he was very young. I think he was a teenager to go study in the Ukraine. And Ukraine was part of Russia then or so. And then, got called into ministry and he established the biggest Pentecostal church in Europe. Surpassing what KICC had in London then, that is Pastor Matthew Eshimolo. Now, he speaks the language, got involved with the community, and Ukraine became home for him. He was living in Kiev. So that's the capital city. Ukraine became home for him. I mean, if you lived in a country for over 30 years, I've been in South Africa for about 20 years now. This is like home. A part of you is here. This becomes a second home. Though there's always going to be that thing about where you come from, where you had your early years growing up. So Ukraine became home for him. He got involved in the community, helped a lot of families who were struggling with addictions, drug addictions, broken families, and all that kind of stuff, alcohol addictions, some of the work that they've done. And he was there and he stayed there with his whole family, where he got married and also began to raise his children there. So he wasn't just alone there. He was there with his family, and he got very much involved in the thick of things, even politically, because he has a voice. During the Orange Revolution, he was involved, where there was a lot of injustices by the then president, and they stood their ground and protest for a long time, where they now saw change. So he and his family had to leave Ukraine when the war started. This is him and his family. They had to leave Ukraine when the war started. They have to go into hiding. I don't know his location right now. He had to go into hiding very early enough because of the notion that the Russian forces, he was one guy on the hit list of the Russian forces. So he had to go into hiding. Now, having lived in Ukraine for over 30 years, establish yourself, a ministry there, a lot of work, businesses there, and they have a home. And they have a home that is worth $4 million. And when the war got into Kiev, the capital city, their home was destroyed. This is a picture of part of the home, even before it got, just when it, the first, I think this was the first part of the destruction. Before the home was now totally, destroyed. So the home is gone. If he is still paying the bank, he would now, I don't know how is that going to be because there's war. If he has paid for the home totally already in full, that means he lost everything. $4 million. Anyway, $4 million, I think for some part of Africa is quite a lot of money. I don't know how expensive homes are in Ukraine, because in some cities, homes are really expensive. So when you hear this amount of money, I mean, in some places you can get a big mansion with this amount of money, but in some places you're probably going to get an apartment, just a place like New York, probably just going to get an apartment. So it is something that we have to really, pray for. There's been a lot of destruction in Ukraine. People lost their jobs, people lost their homes, people lost their family members, their loved ones, their fathers, mothers, children lost their lives. Now, people who were foreigners in Ukraine also lost a lot. There's a lot of African students in Ukraine, so they lost their studies, probably going to lose a year. Some of them had to go to Poland. Now they're trying to get back in school in Poland. Some of them came back home to Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya. So it's like everybody lost something, in the city. Everybody lost something. If you didn't lose a father, you lose a mother. If you didn't lose a mother, you lose an uncle. You lose a family member. You will lose. A child. Just different ways, And I feel we need to continue to pray for that situation, and we need to continue to pray for people who are in that sort of situation. Sunday Adelaja is not alone in this situation. He has lost money, homes, so he has lost money. But there are a lot of people that lost loved ones. Actually, right now he is in transition. He is saying God has called him to come back to Africa. So he is definitely on transition to Africa, where God told him to come to Africa, that all he had experienced and taught him in Europe, he would want him to use in Africa. So it'd be good to have him in Africa. There's a lot of you guys that don't agree with Sunday Adelaja and all that. But you see, we can go into different areas about his life and talk about it, just like you also. There are areas in your life that I would agree with, that I would not, that I would disagree with. There's areas in my life that you would disagree with too, and disagree with, and it's fine. But still, we have to, when we have an agreement, we don't cancel people. I think one of the things that Christians do a lot is I disagree with you, so I cancel you. Because I disagree with this thing, everything about you is a lie. No. I tell people, even TB Joshua, there are areas that I agree with him. Even TB Joshua, there are areas that I would agree with him. Because not everything about everybody is just wrong, you know. But back to Ukraine, people have lost so much. And when people have what you have worked for all your life now, right in front of you being destroyed, it's like your life is being destroyed. Your investment, what you've invested, your time, your effort, your money, everything disappears because of war. How do you handle a loss like that? How do you handle losing family members? How do you handle losing homes, money? How do you handle losing your business? How do you handle it? Only God can help people to handle that, because that may just bring a lot of depression and pain and brokenness in people that for the next 20 years, the country will have to be dealing with that. So we have to prepare to know how to handle a loss. Financial loss, you go into business and things didn't work out, relationship lost. How do we handle it? We have to concentrate in building our community. You might be in Africa, or you're African living outside of Africa. How are you building your community? How are you helping those who have lost something? That's very important. So continue to pray for Sunday Adelaja. Temilade is saying, let's build Africa countries for the future of our children and grandchildren and generations to come. No place like home. God bless Africa. Indeed, I agree with you. Bongani says, the way his home is destroyed indicates that he was a number one target. May the good God protect his family. Good morning. Happy New Month. Yeah. So I encourage each and every one of us. Let's continue to uphold Africa. Let's continue to pray for Africa and Africans living overseas also. Let's pray for Ukraine and Russia and the leadership that peace will return. And pray for people who have lost something, not just in Ukraine or Russia, but people that you know. Because a loss, if not handled correctly, will bring you a pain that is going to be everlasting. It's going to last for a long time. Not everlasting per se, but it's going to last for a long time. But if you handle a pain in a certain way, you can now be able to move on. And that is very important. But some people don't know how to move on, don't understand how to move on because of the pain. So they reside in that pain for a very, very long time. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I will see you again.